Welcome to yet again another episode of the Pitboard Discussions.
Yeah.
I'm your boy Ace, the troubled one himself. Joined here to my left, Mushiri the start one, and to my right.
Yeah. Keeping it brief. Oh, we are keeping it brief today.
We're keeping it brief today. Anyway, so we are back again with another episode of our Formula 1 podcast. First things first, before to end, what are you guys, your thoughts on that movie?
On the movie?
Your thoughts?
You know, we haven't watched it.
No, your thoughts on how Formula 1 are pushing it. What are you expecting? Just your thoughts. Give me your raw thoughts on the movie.
Okay. Like, to be honest, I think, I just like the move of making a movie where the movie is specifically meant for Formula 1 fans. It's like a Jazzy, a Mercedes Jazzy or whatever. It's specifically made for Formula 1 fans. Other than having a Jazzy as a product or maybe model cars as a product you're selling to the fans, this is a movie being sold to the fans. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay, what about you?
You'll have to ask me after we watch the movie.
Okay, if I'm to lazima kuuliza after I watch the movie. I was going to ask if it was to be classified as a subgenre. Yeah, is it an action? Is it a comedy? Is it a thriller? What are we expecting here?
Maybe too from the rumors, or from the people who have like watched it. Going back to how they were producing it, they said they came up with some cameras. So they can get some angles, and as I was telling you, I liked the angle in the Top Gun. You remember the Top Gun, the one in front, the one you could see giving a perspective of the speed, seeing the face of the pilot, and everything,
experiencing the harsh conditions.
Yeah, even when they were pulling those G's, you could see it in their faces. So that's one of the things I liked about Top Gun, and the guys behind Top Gun are doing it. So with those just pieces, you would say it's action. But also, again, I hear it's an underdog stories. You know, I love underdog stories. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, we will be going to the early screening, Century Cinemax, Garden City, the only place in Kenya where they have the IMAX screens. And I'm going to watch it twice in the space of a week. I'm going to watch it on Monday and I'm going to watch it on Friday with the Pitboard Discussions crew, because I know a lot of pitboarders want to come and watch that movie on Friday. So Friday 10 p.m. tutapatana huko. Now, I was talking about the Apple's interest in Formula, being part of the production team. Now, there is a rumor going around that Apple are interested in acquiring F1 TV. I don't know if you guys have seen anything like that. Have you guys seen anything like that?
Okay.
Streaming wise.
At the moment, it's ESPN that has the rights for Formula 1 in the US.
Fox? Yes. I think Fox.
I usually see ESPN.
It's ESPN in US.
Yeah.
I'd say Fox too, because from some of the illegal streams. Some of the illegal streams.
Say it with your chest, man.
Some of the streams I've used pale kando. You know the streams I'm talking about. Don't look at me in shock.
You know Kenya is ranked number 1. I think in Africa in illegal streams.
Traffic inatoka one place.
Bro is generating random IPs. IP addresses every tab he opens on the browser. Anyway.
Yeah. So, sometimes mambo maji kizidi unga, you have to use some streams just to watch this thing. But
Fox, when is the last time you saw Fox?
Juzi too.
And what were you watching on Fox?
I was actually watching.
I've never seen it on Fox.
It was actually a Spanish. It was F1 in Spanish now.
What?
Yeah,
and that's America. It's still America.
Definitely. I think it was Miami based or something.
What does the ESPN mean? Espanol.
Extreme Sports Publishing Network or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. So apparently, the contract will be expiring at the end of the 2025 season.
Which contract?
For ESPN.
ESPN.
Yeah.
So it's up for renewal, and highest bidder.
I don't think ESPN are interested in acquiring it.
Really?
Again.
Why?
Well, from what I've heard, it's not like... You see, they're not getting as much fans as they hoped for. And also, like, the times don't really play well with the American markets.
Mm.
The showing of the races.
Even with how many races on that side?
6, 5.
On
Wait,
that side,
yeah.
they have tuanzia chini.
We're talking about the Americas.
Yes.
Interlagos.
We're including
Mexico,
Canada,
And Brazil.
Central and South.
Okay,
Mexico.
I'm starting from the bottom.
Start from the
Mexico,
top, going downwards. Canada.
Mexico,
No. US.
Interlagos,
Finish the US ones.
It
Texas,
depends how does you sleep. That was a bad joke.
Texas, Miami,
Vegas. Have you counted
Vegas,
Yeah.
and now Canada.
And Montreal, yeah.
Yeah,
So those are 6.
6 races.
Yeah.
That is a quarter.
Yeah.
A quarter of the
that's a
races of
quarter
the calendar.
Yeah. Which I think is fair.
It's a lot of races by the way.
It's unfair. Okay, for the global audience, it's unfair.
Why?
Like, why? We in Africa, we still don't have an African race yet. What do you mean, why?
We're talking about time zones.
You need to get your head out of the sand. This is more of a business than a sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. And we've had this conversation before.
Wait. By the way, on that thread, have you guys seen apparently the Kyalami circuit in South Africa has been given a grade 1?
Approval.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know what it means.
It means they can now host international sporting events.
So like
when
MotoGP.
Formula 1,
Formula E.
MotoGP.
How many kilometers is it? Is it like 5 point something?
Hey, 5 is a lot. On average, they're usually around 4 point something. 5 is a lot. 5
The
is
longest one's in 7 ile Aspa.
Kidogo.
It can't be 5.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can host MotoGP because the rails are near. It's like a Hungaroring, if I can put it that way.
So you're telling us there's hope
For
something to happen.
It's 4.5. 4.5.
yeah,
kilometers.
4.5. Yeah, they usually.
You're saying there's hope for something to happen.
Hey, there's also Kigali.
Yeah,
a
also
street
Kigali.
circuit, so
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to what I was telling you guys. So apparently, now this is an article I'm reading. So over the past few years, Apple has made significant strides in expanding its content offerings on Apple TV Plus, with a particular emphasis on live sports. This trend over the past few years demonstrates Apple's intent to position Apple TV as a competitive player in the streaming market. So clearly the strategy is sports streaming. We know there's a lot of money to be made in sports.
Yes, but the market is in quotes.
Yeah.
Selected markets.
Yeah. And
Apple, we still don't have Apple TV Plus
Apple in Kenya.
on,
Yeah. Come on, Steve Cook. Anaitwaje Tim Cook?
Our neighbors Uganda
we
have
don't
it.
want to cook you
You
here.
kind of have a Apple TV.
I know, that's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
We are sorry, have Apple TV.
Sebo.
Anyway, now listen.
But it's more than just Apple. I think legislation here or something needs to support.
He must go.
But this is not that kind of show. But yes.
He must go. Anyway. I'll double down on this. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I don't know if you guys were aware what happened a few weeks back. So Apple released a trailer. They released a trailer of the Formula 1 movie exclusively on Apple TV Plus. Nice. Now, this trailer had a lot of
again, that trailer was released for selected markets.
I know, but if you know what to do,
Apple.
If you know what to do, you can watch it. if you know what to do, you can watch it. So this
Number
trailer,
1 VPN user.
So this trailer had some integration with the haptic feedbacks or the haptic engine on everybody's iPhone. So if you had an iPhone,
Android folks.
Come on. Shouldn't you be worried how much access they have to the phone?
wait, please.
Like if somebody can make your phone vibrate by watching a clip.
Now, yeah, it's actually really impressive.
That's too much access.
And I was like, they opened my head, they opened my eyes to what technology can actually be used for. You get me? Like the whole user experience, you know. I was really allow me to just fanboy kidogo. So apparently the haptic feedback on your phone, like if you have an iPhone, that is. So if you're watching the trailer and the car is riding
why are you not including Mushir in this conversation?
Oh, okay. Now listen.
It's because
It is not a personal
because I'm an Android user.
No,
you can continue.
He
continue.
has fruit
Yeah.
devices.
You have fruitful devices.
Yeah.
Hey, pause. But anyway, moving on. So if you're watching, I don't know if they work on the other Apple devices like the MacBooks. I don't really know. I'll have to go try that. But what happened was with the whole haptic feedback thing. So if the car is riding the curbs, you could actually feel your phone vibrate. When the engine is on idle, you could actually feel like the whole immersive experience. And I was really, 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 really impressed by that. And I was like, wow. And if this is what you're planning to bring to Apple TV Plus, the your subscription, we are paying. We will pay. Do not worry about
But
the stream.
wouldn't you need the actual TV itself?
Yeah. No.
Well, you can
don't
even watch it
actually
from
have
the
TV.
phone.
You can watch it from
stream
the
it from even any fruit device.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Like,
like,
that's really
talking.
dope.
I was talking
Imagine-
about the
Sorry,
feedback.
yeah.
The feedback, like it seems it is device dependent.
yes. I don't think it's available on laptops because laptops don't really. I haven't used the newest models, but they don't really have the.
Well, the trackpad, if you press it, you think it's going down, but it's actually vibrating. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe
you
they
place
play
your
around
hands-
with that, or the subwoofers. I don't know, to give you that rattling effect. But I was thinking about. I'm sure you guys have heard of 7D cinemas, where you actually even feel the rumble
in the heat.
when there's an explosion. You feel something.
Yeah.
Like where they blow some wind or something on you.
Like
Not
in
just- as
Jurassic
in-
Park when the dinosaur is now walking towards you can now feel the light.
Yeah, so it's not just visual and audio, but the other elements that
Sensory.
come into the experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now imagine if they had those bass shakers
Uko chini.
on everyone's seat.
I'm trying to imagine now. Does Vision Pro have these haptic things? Because the guys who will be streaming on Vision Pro will buy.
Hey, we're in selected markets, my friend. We are not in selected markets.
It is a select market
How
thing,
many
and we are not in the
markets are there,
selected
by the-
market.
Wait, how many markets? Are they 2 or more than 2?
There's Asia, Middle East,
Uh-huh.
Africa, there's Europe, there's North America, and there's South America.
All those markets are treated differently.
Yes.
So now,
Sawa.
okay, how do I put this? We are not in the select market. You said you're not in the
We
select
are not.
market.
I don't know if you want us to spend time on that conversation.
We are not in the select market. So anyway, since you're not in the select market, swiftly moving on to George Russell's win.
What?
Yes, swiftly moving on to George Russell. How are you feeling about that, by the way? You know you're a big George fan.
Yeah, I'm actually a George fan.
Yes. You remember when I talked to you guys about it? When was it? The previous episode, and I told you secretly, I believe Max and George are friends. They just have, this outward thing. Because I remember seeing them on the podium, and Max was just spraying champagne on this guy and things like that. But that's not really what I'm trying to bait you with. I'm trying to bait you with something. You remember the safety car? He brought up the theory, and now I saw it.
What theory?
That George is obsessed with Max.
Yeah, he is. But anyway, proceed.
Yes.
Well,
He brought up
he's
the theory.
actually asking whether there was any showing of that during the safety car restart.
Well, that I'd say that was premeditated.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he man already said like a few days before that. He said, "Hey, I have more points. I have some points that I can
Play with. That was a diabolical statement.
Premeditated.
That was a diabolical statement. Do you think FIA should be punishing things like that?
Like what?
Because cursing is worth a penalty.
Punishing things like what?
Saying things like that, you have a few penalty. Like
come on.
what is it called in law terms? There's a word. I don't want to call it prejudice. What's it called? Is this a word? No. Whereby you're planning to do something.
FIA should
Let
not.
me just give you cricket.
Why are you giving me
Move
cricket?
FIA should not.
Okay. Okay. I won't talk about it. Now, this is the second time George got pole in Canada, back to back. Last year, they tied with Max Verstappen. Yes. This year, Max Verstappen was on pole, and then George snatched it off his mouth. Yes. And we were expecting some interesting things on turn 1. But Max Verstappen seems to have... Ni kama aliambiwa, hey, boss, tulia. Don't send it in turn 1. Because George is planning something. That's exactly what happened. Because Max wasn't sending it in turn 1. I saw that turn 1, and that wasn't the Max Verstappen I'm used to. I expected some shades of...
But they were not side by side.
Yeah, they were not side by side.
And Max had a slower launch. And that turn 1, it's a sharp left. So even if Max was sending it, he'd probably leave the track. I don't think he was going to make it. And also the run from the start finish, that car line to turn one, it's just a few hundred meters. So there was no way that even Max being around, is it 8 meters between the person who's in front and the person who's behind? I think it's 8 meters. There was no way he was going to gain that ground. And if he decided to brake late, he was on the dirty side of the track at that point at turn one. He'd probably go off.
Yeah. But we can more blame it on the slow start, because normally we know Max Verstappen is the guy who tries to get you early on.
I don't think he was going to make it, to be honest, unless George had a poor start.
The roles are reversed. He had a poor start, and
if George had a bad start, then Max maybe would have made it.
Maybe would have made it.
Yeah.
What are the rules about finishing under safety car? That you're not allowed to overtake after crossing the finishing line?
Actually, if there's a safety car,
Toto joined the chat.
if there's a safety car, you're not allowed to overtake. No overtaking.
But the safety car pulled in.
Yeah, but we still on our feed we're still seeing safety car.
Toto joined the chat.
But why did it enter the pits, the safety car? Singendelea tu ama
See, so that they have the car finish.
Safety car finish.
so
Yeah, it was a safety car finish.
but they sprinted to the finishing line.
the
George
same way-
and Nani.
There
George,
were- whether they sprinted or not, they were still not going to do any overtaking.
interesting.
Now, this is interesting because watching it live at K1, we were at K1 watching it live. Now, there's a fan who prompted me and said, "This is what should have happened in AD21." And I've always been like, still have no comment on that. Now, you have your own Maoni. You have some.
No, Michael Massey went with that chat. Next. People need to move on. Next.
People need to move on. But yeah, that's exactly what should have happened at AD21. But hey, we're not talking about that. Now, speaking of the safety car, something caused that safety car. And the thing that caused the safety car is something that I've been telling you guys will happen. It's something that I've been telling you guys will happen.
I've been waiting for it to happen.
We knew
But
it was
it
going to happen.
didn't happen the way I expected it to happen.
And they are both of them.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what
when
we
you-
needed.
If there's anything Lando,
You guys are haters.
if there's anything Lando should,
No, that's not hating. I'm looking at the championship. I'm also looking at the championship.
if there's anything Lando should regret about that crash,
Not
is
taking
he
out
did
Oscar.
not take out Oscar. I
I
don't
go
blame
out, I'm
him
going
for
out with
going. I don't blame him for going for the move. He should never regret going for the move.
There's a fan who said, like, Lando shouldn't be blamed because he's a racing driver. And the great Senna once said, listen, if you no longer go for the gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. So I really don't blame Lando for that. I see a lot of guys saying Lando did this, did that. It was ballsy. It was ballsy of him. It was ballsy.
No.
He was. I know he fumbled the bag. He bottled it, but he was going to catch up to Piastri either way. He was gaining on him. He had the faster car. He had the better pace.
And how many times have we seen Lando in the same position and he keeps on making mistakes?
In during the race or quali?
During the race, where he's chasing someone who's actually slower, but he just can't make the overtake.
So just before that, there was something interesting that happened. Just before
Are you answering?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question.
Are you answering?
Yeah. I'm trying to answer something.
Okay.
Like I'm not trying to answer it directly. I'm just trying to give some more context.
Okay.
So just before that happened, you said how many times have we seen Lando in that position and also bottled it? Sindio? Now, just before that crash happened, is it a chicane, the final chicane to that car straight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Champion.
Yeah, they were racing towards that that chicane. And I don't know if you noticed this, but Lando was the faster guy on their race.
Yep.
And Piastri was the late breaker.
Yeah. Super late.
So I think it's more of a situation whereby I think Piastri's way of racing is more ballsy, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And Lando isn't as dedicated
He is not.
to that as Piastri. So that's why when we see these things happen, we tend to think he's actually bottling it to Piastri, when literally Piastri is just is actually pushing it to the limit more often than not.
Well, two statements can be true at the same time. Both of them are true. On the thread that you're on right now, I can remember Monza. Remember Monza, Piastri pulled an overtake, even Norris was like, what? Kumbe someone can overtake here at the second chicane.
Yeah.
For me, that signifies, as a driver, if you don't think someone can make an overtake here, you would never make that overtake there.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the kind of racecraft or aggression that Norris has. Now, to the question that I asked, whenever Norris has the faster car and is chasing someone who's slower, it's impatience and just not timing or getting to a place where you can actually use the pace that you have to make that clean move. I'll take you back to Miami this year. I think he was stuck behind Max or something. And when Piastri had the same opportunity, Piastri just overtook Max. He didn't even make... It wasn't even like 2 laps or 3 laps. I'll take you back to Austria last year. When Norris again was stuck behind Max. Remember when he...
That's
he
the one they bumped tires.
Yeah, doing the same goddamn move.
So what are we...
I'll take you back to Mexico.
Hey, receipts.
Last year.
This guy's receipts.
As in, it's racecraft.
It's not like he has forgotten how to drive. You see, when he was racing with Akina Carlos Sainz, there wasn't much at stake. There wasn't much at stake. Like racing, when it comes to qualifying, everything it was like second nature. Being fast, Nini, like, he was like in a flow state. But then there wasn't like much you're fighting. It's not like you're fighting for the championship.
They didn't have,
now,
they didn't have a fast car.
First of all, you have the fastest car. We don't know next year whether they will have the fastest car. So this is the only time he has a good chance of being a world champion. So when that is on his mind, it's put there on the table. Now it's like a sieve. So this is where you separate the people who can hold their nerves. Na kuna they might crumble. And from what I'm seeing, Norris is like, if you compare to Norris, who was the previous years, he was a much faster driver. He was a much confident driver. Even in racecraft, he was very good. But now, because the championship is on the line, like the cup is there, and maybe you do a mistake, it starts now slowly eating into you. Like, am I like really good? And for you to recover, you have to go back into the state whereby you have to race as if there's nothing on the line, which is very difficult to do. Like, you are racing for fun. Take out that whatever is at stake there. Like going out there on track and having fun. It might not come easy to others, but well, he has a chance of doing it. Yeah.
Now, on the Lando crash still, just before we move on the Lando crash still, so there were some guys who are like, where is his penalty? Because some guys expected a penalty for that, him being classified and all that, but he crashed out, but he didn't get a penalty. And there were guys who were talking about, the FIA hands out penalties based on your passport. I know you've had that thing being thrown around, but do you think that move warranted a penalty?
Yeah, he caused a collision.
And why didn't he get the penalty then?
Passport.
It's an entertainment.
It's not a fact.
No, this is a factual show now. Passport.
It's a passport thing.
Yeah, it's a passport.
So if Max Verstappen did that, penalty.
And a race ban.
And a race ban, because he's actually on the limit.
Yeah, and I think if you ask me,
penalty
that is why
points.
Penalty points, yes, penalty points.
And if you ask me, that is, I think, why is the reason why Christian Horner is going with those documents. Because he knows next time when Max does it, he will most likely be penalized. But now he'll have something to go and say, hey, you remember Canadian, what happened? And you did not punish Russell?
We were talking about, sorry for bringing this back, but we were talking with him about something to do with the F1 movie and going to watch and what to expect, yeah? And you remember I told you something about the FIA. I'm really looking forward to see how they portray the FIA in the movie, because if this movie is a high-stakes movie, there's definitely going to be crashes. There's definitely going to be some in-team fighting and things like that. So penalties will be handed out, yes? I'm really looking forward to seeing how the FIA operate from that movie. Based on that movie. This is AOB. This is others. But I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it out there. Okay. I'll be looking, when we go to the early screenings on Monday, I'll be looking forward for that. Hiyo ndio kitu nitaenda kuangalia. Itakuwa tu pale just, unajua wale watu wana watch na kalamu na kitabu. I'm just watching, trying to write down the mistakes I've seen. Nimeona pale Reddit, some guys wako like, there's some guys who are like in the engineers department. These guys are coming with MacBooks and hey, who uses a MacBook in the factory? Your stuff, people expecting Lenovo ThinkPads. The workhorse laptops na vitu hizo.
Even I saw
also Apple also make some really hardy laptops.
No, but kwa hiyo grid yote F1 who have you ever seen akipita na MacBook kwa engineering department?
Ushaona mtu akipita na na laptop?
Now so those guys have laptops hapo mahali.
I've never seen. Usually just screens attached to things.
And renew anakuanga na drawing
na HP. Why do you think HP are sponsoring Ferrari?
Printer.
Printing P7 for Hamilton. Haya ni sawa. Anyway, now moving on. Wonderful sensation, kid sensation Kimi Antonelli after having a mediocre triple header. I think he pulled one of the biggest turnarounds of his career. Psych. I don't think it's a turnaround, really. I just think Mercedes were fast that weekend.
Yeah, they were.
Mercedes were fast overall that weekend.
They brought an update, yeah.
But he wasn't bullied around this time by the title challengers, if you can call them that. There was a race. Ni race gani yenye Piastri came and bullied him, and Kimi was like, "Is that okay?" Then Akina Toto were like, "Just focus on the race. Focus on the race."
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I don't. Ile alianza. Was it pole? Did he get pole position? Ama alianza huko?
Oh, Kimi.
Yeah. Was it P2?
Has Kimi ever been on pole?
Alikuwa mahali hapo mbele and Piastri is just right nyuma ya Piastri.
Miami.
Was it Miami? He got pole?
Yeah, it was Miami. Yeah. No, he didn't get pole.
He got pole. Come on, he got pole.
Has Kimi ever been on pole?
Okay, I know there was a sprint and a race, so I know he got one. I don't know which one is it.
He has a pole mahali bana. Why are you taking it away from him?
It's either the sprint or the race. I'm not sure which is
sprint
which.
Qualifying, yeah.
He had a pole.
Yeah.
Na hiyo ndio Oscar Piastri alimwambia my friend, let me teach you how it's done. Oscar Piastri. Nah, he didn't even finish in the points. Because sprint points.
It was sprint.
Yeah, I think that's the one he
crashed. It was a disastrous race, all I remember for him.
Yeah. Anyway, but he had a good race. He kept the McLarens at bay for a really long time. And I really wish Ferrari capitalized on it. But anyway. But yeah, he kept the McLaren.
There was no way Ferrari was going to capitalize on it.
Hamilton was racing alone, bana.
Mambo yake ni ngumu. His things are hard.
I think Charles is still asking questions.
But we have to give Kimi his flowers. So
wait. Not in the second race.
Wait. Let's give Kimi his flowers. So a round of applause for Kimi. His performance.
Yeah. Usually my driver of the day, man.
Kimi. For holding off McLaren.
Yeah, for holding off the McLarens. Really did a good job.
Okay.
Sasa now you can move on to the Ferrari stuff you wanted to say.
Okay.
Would you say it is payback because he took that position from Piastri?
No. I wouldn't say it's payback. I think payback.
He took it and he never gave it back.
Yeah.
I'll say payback is still coming because the Piastri one was more of an aggressive take. You get ilibanga elbows out.
Well, he just finished his exam, so I don't think he has more bandwidth in his.
Do you think in Miami he was still focusing on Pythagoras theorem?
Yeah.
That's why walimuingililia hivyo.
Yes.
Okay, but a lot of promising things to come from Kimi Antonelli. So yeah, a really impressive race for him. The Gilles Villeneuve circuit. Gilles Villeneuve circuit in Canada, Montreal.
Yeah, now amepewa 10 more years.
Yeah, now Ferrari huko mambo ni ngumu. Huko kazi ni influencing too. Me, all I see is Hamilton coming with a new bike, spamming social media. Na tunangoja our solid P7.
What did you expect from Hamilton? What else?
I expected him to help in developing the car. I expected him to help in molding Charles into a world champion. But
Hamilton, all his races he is alone. Even in Monaco, he doesn't know.
What's his defense for this weekend?
He didn't know who is racing.
What's his defense for the previous weekend? Running over the groundhog.
Well, there's that, and also Ferrari decided to beat him. And they let him out into traffic.
He's not the only one who was shafted by a pit from Ferrari. Charles was also shafted by a pit.
Charles was like, hey guys, plan C, copy. Then he goes into the pits. He's like, hey, why give me hot tires? Plan B. God damn it, Ferrari.
Sayo, this is Sunday, sindio? I'm fresh from seeing Ferrari win the Le Mans back to back.
Disqualified. One of them was disqualified.
We won Le Mans back to back.
Why were they disqualified by the?
They were missing 4 bolts. They were missing 4 bolts on the rear wing. So it failed the deflection test in the post race. in the post-race
You
scrutiny.
guys are trying to be crafty.
What did they say? That it fell off or?
Yeah, probably.
Sindio,
Fellow. You know, we're talking about 24 hours. Going at
We bana we si atukumbuki kianguka. Yeah, but okay, it's not the Ferrari wanted to win, but still a Ferrari. It won. The 499P is a monster. It's a legend of the sport.
Say the racing number. Say which car won.
Car 83 won.
Thank you.
Robert Kubica, AF Corsa. Robert
Thank
Kubica's car.
Yeah.
And really happy for him, by the way. Niliona.
Hey, why are you not saying the other drivers? I am moving on swiftly.
You want us to give them an honorable shout out to the
Just
other
like 83. That's it. We move on.
Lucky Robert Kubica Tajo because of the accident thing, and he was supposed to go to Ferrari.
Yeah, actually, he's the guy who brought it home.
Yeah.
Remember, at some point he was saying like, "What do you mean?
We were actually
We are racing for the win. What do you mean at the team orders?
How many hours did he like? They were almost 4 hours. The last 4. Like,
the last stint.
3 or 3 and something hours.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we haven't asked like how many hours we watched.
I watched a solid 6-7 hours.
You?
I think I did 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I saw Ferrari 1, 2, 3.
I'm this year's
I'm
champion.
not even watching this. I was like, I'm not even watching this.
I'm this year's champion. Last year, I think you're the one who did the most hours, yeah?
Yeah.
Next year, same.
Yeah?
Same next year. 29 anabeba most hours. I'm this year's champion.
Sir.
Yeah, but this year I think I was really more glued on the screen because again the Ferraris were leading, so nilikuwa na something to watch. And I remember I called both of you actually. We talked on the phone when the race was on. I called you early in the morning. Hauku unapatikana early in the morning. You're still sleeping, I think.
Yeah, because that was a boring race to watch.
Yeah. Red Bull walimaliza number? Oh, sorry, you guys weren't there.
Nataka kuleta story ya Yuki.
Yeah? You have to bring Yuki.
Nataka kuleta Yuki.
No. You have to bring Tsunoda here.
Tuongelee mambo ya Ferrari management drama. Now, there's something else that was happening at the Ferrari camp. No, before after the race. Now, uko Le Mans, they were doing the thing. But just before Le Mans.
Formula 1.
Listen. See, wait. Now, just before Le Mans.
You bring up a
piece,
race that you guys got disqualified in.
a race that we won back to back 3-peat. Has anybody ever done that, by the way? Yes, I don't think so.
Ferrari International Assistance.
Yes. TFI. TFI stands for
Ferrari International Assistance. As in, I just didn't make that up. Just you can Google at your own free time. That's the mafia.
You used the that's the mafia.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there was a hit piece that was let loose concerning none other than Fred Vasseur. And it was really, it really caused some ripple in the water because you had guys like Hamilton coming out and saying, listen,
Are you taking responsibility?
What responsibility?
Proceed.
Because we had guys like Hamilton coming out and talking about it, and they were like, listen, I came to the team because of Fred, and I'm here to win with Fred. So the reason people are trying to call it a hit piece is because it was well coordinated. It was a well coordinated strike, unlike what is happening at Israel. But
wait.
Rogers, you wait. See, I'm the one who's cooking. See,
Moving on swiftly.
will let me cook. You're afraid to touch on the political issues.
Hey, this is not a political show. This is not a faction show. Hey, wait.
They can pinpoint
Unajua
you.
there were guys on X pale walikuwa wanasema coordinates are wrong. Wakasema coordinate ni
Can I mute this guy?
okay. Coordinates ni gani? They were giving other coordinates. Anyway, away from that. I'm just joking. So the hippies was on Fred, and they were trying to replace Fred. And we saw a quote. This is something we had discussed. We saw a quote whereby maybe Fred responded in a certain way, and the response was something close to this. Ferrari have changed everything, from drivers to team principals to engineers, but there's only one thing that hasn't been changed. Can you guess what that is?
What did he say?
He left it there. Ndio ujijazie. I don't know. Number one, I don't know if this is what Fred said. We just saw a quote like, this is how he answered. We can't verify that. But the insinuation was Akina Elkman.
My mind is thinking about that 1% that Ferrari apparently didn't change, but it's okay.
Which 1%?
No, proceed.
The car?
Proceed. I'm following your thread. Proceed.
Listen, it's one thing to... But anyway, yeah, so the reason people are also calling it a hit piece is because of how well coordinated it was.
That it was from the Italian media.
It was from the not only the Italian, ilikuwa everywhere, ilikuja at once. Like I'm saying, it was a well coordinated strike. They were released at the same time. Gazzetta dello Sporto and Ferrari News, Tifosi 411, zilitoka at the same time. Na Scuderia Ferrari pale Reddit zilitoka at the same time.
The one who's running all those handles.
Zilitoka at the same time. No, zilitoka at a time whereby in Italy it was mchana but
what time was it in Nairobi, Kenya?
No, iko mchana.
No, you know what time it was. Proceed.
Iko mchana, but pale Montreal in Canada people are asleep. So Fred is waking up to what is happening. You get me? People are waking up. Akina Fred and the Ferrari crew ko wanaamka wakishangaa what is going on. They're waking up finding a hit piece on there. Unajua when you vilify somebody, you know how when you vilify somebody like unamweka hadi the mustache on the newspaper. You know the iconic mustache. Fred anajipata kwa newspaper anamekwa mustache na swastika.
What?
No. What anajipata na mustache hapo na anashanga what's going on. These guys are trying to get rid of
What have you been drinking?
They are trying to get rid of Fred. And I actually felt sorry for him. Okay, not really sorry, but I felt his surprise.
So who did you think he insinuated? That hasn't been changed.
The CEO.
Eh?
The CEOs.
The
The chairperson, the CEO, these are the top guys huko juu.
They have never
The
been
guys
changed.
who are running the organization. Yeah, you know, it's a political team. It's no longer a racing team.
But they're having huge success in work. Endurance championship.
And I can believe that's what the top guys, the top dogs, the brass, wanaitwa the top brass. I can believe that's what the top brass are thinking. They're like, hey, listen, we're having success in work. Why aren't we've won 4 races in work this year?
We are
Four.
paying FIA. We are paying FIA to win those races.
Hey, brother, you're
Hey,
salty.
moving on
Stop
to
being salty. Stop being salty. Why are you being salty?
Moving. Again, this is an entertainment show.
Yeah, this is an entertainment show. So Ferrari have won 4 races in work this year. Now Formula 1, they've won 1.
What?
Shanghai
No,
sprint.
it doesn't count.
Wait.
A sprint race is not a win.
A win is a win.
It's
A
not
win is
brother.
a win is a win.
If you go to the Formula 1 website and you hit races and you see winners of the races that have happened, Ferrari doesn't feature anywhere.
You sure?
Yes.
Now,
has 5 wins.
when Hamilton was crossing the line during that sprint,
He won a sprint race, not a race.
he did what?
He won a sprint race.
He did what?
Won.
Exactly.
Do you know why the sprint
He
was
won.
introduced?
Wait. Moving on.
No, answer.
Do you know why it was introduced?
Yes, it was introduced to get more points.
No, it was a practice to make a practice session more entertaining.
No. There are more points up for grabs.
So the race was just entertainment.
Yes.
Nothing else.
But it is for practice. It was a practice session turned into like a race, but more or less, because if you remember when they started it, how you finished the sprint race is how you continued.
Yep.
Yeah,
but there were a lot of changes.
That was changed.
Scraps, yeah.
That was changed because this one is like it was a practice, supposed to be a practice. The other part is for entertainment. So.
Well, regardless, we still won.
With an illegal car the following day. Proceed.
Was it
Context.
that
We have to give people context, man.
Listen, unajua kwanza niliona start flani. This amazing start. I don't know if you guys have seen this start. So apparently, if you remove Max Verstappen's points from the Red Bull team, this guy's actually dead last.
Yeah.
You saw that start?
Yeah.
Red Bull is carrying the team.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen is carrying the team.
Yeah. And
So
he's done that for a couple of years now.
So we're due to Max Verstappen akienda Aston Martin in the next 3 years.
But it's something that we are well
Listen.
prepared. I think there was an episode where we're saying Red Bull needs to figure out the next driver after Max. If Max leaves, who's next? And I think now apparently they are rushing this car underage. I think he's 18 years old or something. They are rushing FIA to give him like that car super license.
They're not going to give it to Haja.
He was given, Amma?
Oh, he's already been given.
Yeah, I think he was given the license.
So I'm expecting maybe one of the
He was
FP1s,
given, but
one of the free practices.
I heard is because in case Max got the reason why he needed it because if Max got a
race
penalty, a race ban,
Okay.
he was supposed to fill in. No,
Well,
I
I thought they were going to promote Haja ama kitu kayo, but
for that race peke yake in case he was banned.
The way George was promoted ile race flani yenye Bottas wasn't racing. Remember the race? There's one time
Hey,
Bottas.
and
George.
George. Bottas, I think, had a problem.
No, it's not Bottas.
It was Hamilton.
Oh, it was
COVID.
Hamilton. Yeah, it was Hamilton.
And
Yeah.
Mercedes decided to. Anyway, those are things that we don't say.
Yeah.
So, and also, the other rumor I had is okay. I don't know if it's a rumor. During Austria, there's he's racing. His team is racing in Spa 24. So they were saying in case he was also disqualified for Austrian GP,
He's still racing.
he would have raced in Spa. Because for the people entered, there was one entry which wasn't filled. It was TBT to be determined. Even now, it hasn't been filled.
Well, okay. And with that, who's your driver, team, and Melon of the Canadian GP?
Okay, driver. I'll give it to George. Yeah. For the whole weekend.
Your membership is under review.
For the whole weekend. Come on. George did well.
No, your membership is under review. That stunt that he pulled upon.
I believe he and George have a lot in common. This guy, why are you hating on George?
I'm not hitting on George. But that stunt that he pulled upon.
Ganio, breathtaking Max.
I don't know.
Max tried to overtake me on the safety car.
What he did, I don't have anything against what he did. What he said after doing it is what.
Yeah.
I have
got some
problem
queries. Yeah, because he lied.
You can't say exactly.
He lied.
You can like tease or like pimanisha mse on track, but like don't be out like now we wanatoka kuni.
Yeah,
he loves gaming the system. Remember Monaco? I think he was trying to overtake one of the Williams. He was trying to, and then he cut the chicane.
You're saying unasema ko bumper to bumper with his cut and mouse.
And then FIA were like, no. You cool a penalty bana. Lying to us. He loves gaming this.
You know, I don't mean this in the bad way.
To some degree, it's okay, but hey,
I don't mean this in a bad way.
Against Max.
But I believe George is a reflection of Toto to some degree. For some reason, I don't know why. I feel Toto has the same vibes.
I don't
Really?
think Toto games.
Not gaming the system like blatantly the way George does it, but in an intellectual way. Because Toto moves in a very intellectual way. But he's always the guy who's actually like, like, do I say planning moves ahead of time?
Who?
Toto.
Okay.
Toto looks like I don't say crafty in a bad way, but he's a guy who's like, he knows what he's doing. He's planning steps ahead before you even plan them. You get me?
No, I don't. But proceed.
But you get what I'm trying to say. Like he's planning things ahead.
Are you talking about Toto or George?
Toto. And that's why George, Nasema, they're mirrors of it. They're reflections of each other. Because I think George is still young. He still has a lot of like understanding to do.
How old is George?
26.
In Formula 1, you are calling that young?
I'm talking about craftiness now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still young. But if he continues the way he's continuing and sharpens his skills, he'll be a stone cold guy. Like, guy to watch out for.
So I'm giving it to George mostly for the pole lap.
Mm-hmm.
I think
back-to-back poles in Canada. Back-to-back poles for him in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Back-to-back pole in Canada. But there was like a significant gap between Max and Piastri. So I don't know where that lap came from.
Yeah.
And the race, I think he had it under control. So race win, fastest lap, and pole. Yeah, that's why I'm giving it to him.
What about you?
Driver of the day, Kimi.
I talked about it. I think I can agree with you on that. Driver of the day, Kimi. So who's your? Okay, I'll start this. My team of the Canadian GP. I have to give it to Mercedes. Not really thrilled about that, but I'll have to give it to Mercedes.
For the most points.
Yeah, for most points. The point haul was massive. You know, especially since McLaren fumbled it. So they literally capitalized. But yeah, still behind Ferrari in the standings. But yeah, big point haul. What about you? Team of the day?
I don't know how to give it to Hülkenberg. Back-to-back points.
Team of the day?
That's why I'm... because the other
Your
guy...
team Hülkenberg?
The other guy is not really performing that well or getting those points, but...
Botolito?
Yeah, because now Alpine are at the bottom, and Kicksauber, Haas, they're not even far from each other in terms of point wise.
It's like 3 points, whatever between them.
Yeah, so I think I don't know what's happening there, but something just turned because now back to back points is not a fluke.
Next year they're premiering as Audi. Okay. What about you? Team of the day?
I'll give it to Aston Martin. I think
They've actually turned a corner, them too.
Yeah. I think they, after Barcelona, now they have a decent kind of Alonso. Alonso is happy with the car.
And his mustache.
Yeah.
He did some quite overtakes on the Canadian GP.
Yeah. I think New's input is finally getting through to the team. Remember, I think I talked about this with you now. We were talking on, maybe we knew he was just passing through the factory and he saw some outrageous stuff. Aliona mtu akifanya some outrageous.
Why are you sticking that in sellotape?
And he was like, what the hell is this? And he had to do things himself. He was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And he was like, this is not done that way, you do it this way. And, performance gains all of a sudden.
And then he continues going where he was going.
Someone was freehanding something. This is a ruler, my friend.
And that changed everything.
Tolerances. We're talking about a sport where 0.5 millimeters can get you disqualified.
Yeah. So he was like, that's why maybe. So Melon of the weekend. Melon of the Canadian GP.
I'm giving it to the stewards.
As always.
Okay. That's didn't expect that. What about you?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Why? Why are you giving it to the stewards?
See, passport. We just talked about the passport thing.
Passport
control.
It's George-based. Anything that is George-based.
No, it's not just George. We also have Lando.
Why?
He
Don't
caused
give it
the
a penalty.
collision.
Yeah, not give it a penalty.
And in the reasoning that they gave why they didn't give him a penalty.
He was classified.
Not even because that he was classified. Because he didn't. Because the car that he hit didn't have any damage. Like what the hell? There were no racing consequences. Since when did the stewards decide penalties based on consequences and not the action?
That's a good
Let's
one.
proceed.
That's a good one. That's a good argument.
Yeah.
You thought about this long and hard, eh?
Bro, I have been saying the stewards have been messing.
You are waiting for this episode.
They are consistent in being.
Ulikuwa unangoja hii
Do you
episode.
remember we're talking about having a dossier?
You don't know if
the
you are
dossier is
put
still
there.
around.
It's all these things.
You do know if you are put there, you'll also be more or less the same.
No.
What do you mean? No.
It's about being consistent, my friend. It's about being consistent.
Okay.
One thing I know about humans, it doesn't matter who you are.
My friend.
Humans are in.
Umeanza philosophy.
I'm just saying, they will never be perfect. Me, for my side,
it's not
I
about
don't
being
expect
perfect.
any perfection from my FIA.
It's not about perfection. It's about being just and being consistent.
Justification.
It's about being just and being consistent. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is. Now, my melon of the day. Do you agree with him first?
FIA.
The stewards. He's talking about the stewards. His melon of the day.
I always, for me, the way I approach it, I leave stewards out of it because I don't. As I said, I don't expect any perfection or anything that we expect to the way to go for them to pull it off.
Okay.
Yeah, but for my melon of the day, I still go back to the Mercedes engine. It failed on Alex Albon.
That's interesting. Well, my melon of the day, I'll give it to the Ferrari strategists.
Not the groundhog. You're sparing the groundhog.
To be what?
Hey, moment of silence for the groundhog.
It's already a melon.
Bro, you just had meat for dinner. Are you also going to have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
Oh, but you signaling.
And there's 10 more years of sweeping those groundhogs.
But you signaling here, man.
Anyway, Austria, what to expect? What are you guys looking forward to at Austria?
Wait, why are you giving Ferrari the melon?
I
want to see you twist that dagger. Do it, man.
Not twisting anything. It's just
no, do it. Say it.
These guys. Now, so we had drivers who were in positions to capitalize on the blunders that were happening in race because we had a park yenye ilikuwa ineko karibu hapo na Kimi Antonelli. But these guys were messing up with their pit strategies, and like you said, Leclerc, they had agreed on something kwa radio. Mume agree this is what
they didn't agree. They just said copy.
Yeah, that's agreeing.
We are checking.
No, copy is saying I have received that info.
Copy, yes. I have ni sawa. Ni sawa kuja. Come in. Then he comes in wanampatia maajabu. I'm like, listen, kwani what is going on today? There's a popular what is it called? Do I call it a GIF or a video of somebody called Gennaro Gattuso, an Italian footballer, turned manager now. He's now a manager. There's a time he was asked,
I know Gattuso.
yeah, how is your team doing? Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. So that's how the Ferrari strategists are. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes
He used to
maybe
play
shit.
for Inter, right?
AC Milan.
Yeah, AC Milan. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah.
Currently the Italian football team manager by the way. Currently just appointed recently. So yeah, so that's my reason. And the Hamilton situation, I was like,
Hamilton's pace is not near any other driver. That's why he's always racing alone.
and you know what's crazy? I think we talked about this just before the
He's not
GP,
as
and I was
fast as
telling you
Charles.
how Hamilton is actually, he still has something to offer because he's out qualifying Charles, and Charles isn't easily out qualified. Yeah, Charles isn't easily out qualified.
Yeah, well, that's true. What?
You had qualified Charles in Canada.
Yeah, he out qualified Charles.
But why did he out qualify Charles?
Okay, yes, kulikuwa
What
na
happened to Charles?
listen, he had a crash the previous day before. Gari yake ilikuwa kwa works. Maybe he wasn't confident in the car, but he also didn't have time to pick one final run. So, you know, all those factors. But still, he's out qualified him a couple of times this year. So, you know, that counts to something.
Okay, yeah.
That counts to something. So, yeah, so Austria, what to expect? What are you guys expecting in Austria? Come Austria.
I don't expect much difference from the only people expect to suffer there are just Mercedes, but the rest are going. McLaren are still going to go away with it, and Red Bull, our Max, will be right there. But Mercedes, as I said, unajua those conditions for Canada last year on pole, this year on pole, and then after that, nowhere to be seen. I don't know. So. We'll see. And it's also a time where Max can get a race ban also.
So you're still looking forward to that?
So I don't know if George will continue with the agenda or somebody else will pick that will pick that duty of trying to, you know, give Max a hard time. I don't know.
Well, what about you?
Well, for Red Bull, I think Max will be in the mix. We usually say Austria is his playground or circus. Yeah. He knows that track as in inch by inch. And last year, the McLarens had the fastest car, but Max was still able to like play games with both of them. Barcelona, I was doubtful or was pessimistic about the RB21. Yes, they brought a few changes, but I think now what we still need to figure out is the tire deck. Barcelona tire deck was just off the roof. Same thing to Canada. So Austria will be one for me where I'll just be watching the overall pace that Max is going to have. I'm also hoping that Yuki is going to have like a clean weekend.
I think he had pace in Canada, by the way. Were it not for the penalty?
Yeah. I hope Yuki is going to have like
he had a good race pace.
clean
Yuki.
Yeah, I really felt sorry for him. I think it was after Barcelona, the post-race. Looked like he was crying and screaming and shouting.
Who?
Yuki.
Do you hear what he said?
I've heard
About
that second seat.
He said his role in the movie was getting overtaken
by Brad Pitt.
Red Bull fans.
That second seat is it chooses you. Because
Checo has been vindicated.
like if you go back the last time since the new regulations, that second seat on Red Bull has never accepted.
Question: has Checo been vindicated?
What? Vindicated as in?
See, Checo alikuanga the problem. Are you guys now ready to admit he was never the problem?
We already admitted that.
Yeah.
Even Max said,
So he has been vindicated.
Max already said, you guys just don't think Checo is a shitty driver.
Yeah.
That guy is something else. We said that couple of
Yeah.
months.
Can't wait to see him back at
said,
Cadillac.
He said whatever he's
Move
doing.
the conversation forward. Tafadhali.
Go. See, wait.
You're taking us back to a conversation we had this 3 months, 4 months ago.
Sasa,
when the
see, the
season was
listeners don't know
starting.
that. The
You
listeners
guys
are
go. I'm going to add this same conversation.
listen. The listeners don't know that. I am looking out for you guys, the listeners. Yeah, na leo umekuja na jezi. Max alikuwa kwa podium. Max alikuwa kwa podium.
Please, no. This is not a jersey. This is not sporting attire.
Tell us. Team attire.
Yeah, it's team gear. It's not. There's a difference between a polo, a shirt, and a jersey.
Sasa for the listeners, sisi tunaitanga jersey because tuko Kenya.
Speak for yourself. Acha kusema sisi. Sema wewe.
We
Fun fact, you are the only one mwenye nishesikia akisema. I think if anything that has anything sporty, that's a jersey. This has a hood. This has a my G. But to him it's a but anyway, we proceed.
You know, I'm laughing because two things. Now one, I know deep down because Max alikuwa kwa podium. So
No, it's not.
Max was in the podium.
No, it's not.
Now this is my analysis.
Okay.
This is my analysis. Now that's what I'm thinking. Now the second one ni because like umesema okay, yeah, true. Granted, si jersey. Si ndio? But venye umesema ni mimi pekee uita hivyo, I've started thinking about how many people tunaitanga hivyo na nikaona yenyewe mimi pekee yangu naitanga hivyo. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's legitimate. Okay, yeah, that aside. So we are not expecting anything. Oh, ngoja tulikuwa bado kwa Checo. We're still in the Checo situation. So we expecting to see Checo back with Cadillac. Na mmesema Yuki PIS hiyo shida.
Yeah. Okay, it's like what you said. Max said whatever he's doing, he's the only person who can do it. Yeah. Hivyo tu.
Now when he leaves, nobody else can do it.
What I'm doing, nobody else can do it.
And when he leaves, nobody else can do it.
Yeah?
When he leaves, nobody else can do it.
No, yes.
With the state of that car.
And until now the car is changed now.
You guys have any add-ons?
You're not giving us what you're expecting. Another Ferrari strategy blunder.
Brother, do you nini mbaya na wewe na Ferrari? Like today umetaja Ferrari more times than I can count.
But I'm asking you.
Na hutaji for the right reasons. Ungetaja na wewe. Why aren't you mentioning wewe ukitaja Ferrari? Unataja tu.
Am I wrong for asking an obvious? Okay. Maybe it's because I'm asking something which is obvious.
What do you expect, Austria?
Amesema we expecting something, you're asking something which is obvious, ndio?
He's asked your question. I don't know how you're pulling a judge on me.
What is pulling a judge?
You're being obsessed with. He's asked your question. Look at him.
That's what pulling a judge is.
Look at him, bana.
I don't have to look at him. What that is called, that's not pulling a judge. You're only pulling a judge. Anyway, Austria.
But Max is getting pole on Austria. Lakini continue.
Your membership is still under review, by the way.
Huh? Hey, bwana, me, I earned my membership. How I got my membership, you are not there.
How we are ending this? Wacha tuimalize tu sahi. If you want my reviews on Austria, tutaongea kwa group. But yeah, looking forward to Austria. I'm looking to see if Ferrari can actually cut the gap to the McLarens. I expect another McLaren in team something. In team
Ferrari just wait for Silverstone.
Mbona mnataja Ferrari sana hiyo like
they are bringing a new rear suspension.
The 1%.
I think they're trying to make Silverstone among the legacy circuits for the sake of Hamilton.
Part of the
they promised, maybe they promised him something in Silverstone.
They told you Silverstone you have to win.
Hamilton has a crazy start in Silverstone, and this year he's no longer going to maintain that record.
What's the record?
Which one?
He's either winning or he's in the podium.
In Silverstone.
And this year with Ferrari, he's definitely not on the podium.
How do you know he's not in the podium? Si umesikia kuna review kuna nini
I am calling it.
So jamaa kwani aski kuna update inakuja, you're not hearing there's an update coming.
What? I have zero faith.
I'm waiting to see, because you see for the last time Hamilton won in Silverstone with Mercedes, last year, that was unexpected. Like I didn't expect Hamilton.
I think they have a statue commissioned for that occasion.
Which one?
Oh, the bronze thingy.
You've seen it?
What is the size of that statue? I've seen it, but I don't know what's the size.
I really don't know anything about it.
And who made it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know
it's
like kuna something commissioned ama kitu kayo. I don't really know. The one is with the flag and
I've seen it, but I don't know where it's from.
Yeah. It's from the UK, of course.
Like who made it?
I don't know. Maybe.
So if they're coming with upgrades, there I'm just watching, because I know that Ferrari, as I said, legacy races, those are the only things they care about.
I'm not even worried. Say to race 9, 10, 9 10. I'm not even worried. Me, like, listen, trust me.
We're going to 11.
We're going to 11. Tuko 10, sindio? We're going to 11. So we'll be good. We'll be good. Me hata sijui mbona mna complain.
Hope. It's the hope that
I'll always
kills.
complain about that legacy. Is it heritage money?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That is upon your everything.
These guys are not racing. And they're getting free cash.
Guys, this is how you unajua mimi nikiwa hapa anakuanga hapa. When I'm here with these guys always hating on our success. And I understand it. You know?
In work, maybe.
4 wins plus the sprint win. You know, it's not a bad year to be a Ferrari fan. Kuna jamaa wanasema.
Is it true that Piastri has more race wins than Charles?
More or same?
This guy's pressing my button.
5. Oh,
6?
Let's go.
How many are they?
Charles has 5
Let's
race
close
wins.
the pod. Let's close the pod. Si pod inaisha. Let's close the pod. Catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
For the guys who are looking forward to come to the Formula 1 movie, we'll be there.
Are you buying us free popcorn?
We can get some popcorn, lakini.
No, are you buying us free popcorn?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We
have you on record.
And ndio nikisema no, mtasema
we are going to slander you in the next pod.
Aya, sawa basi. We already have our tickets for Monday, 8 p.m. screening pale Century Cinemax, Garden City. We'll be there seeing the early screening. Itakuwa the early one. I don't know sijui pod itatoka lini, but I'm expecting itatoka hiyo Monday, si ndio? Ama itatoka Friday? I don't know. I also don't know. But yeah, but on Friday next week, Friday the 27th of June. Friday the 27th of June, 10 p.m. We are going there as the Pitboard Discussions. To end up to we are going to take that place hostage. We are going to do nini?
You shouldn't be using such words.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we are going to be doing all that. So we'll be there. We'll be all of us there. We'll be shooting fan cams, nini. So please come join us. If you want to join the group, make sure you leave a comment down below. Follow us on all social platforms: IG, X. We have a TikTok.
Yes.
TikTok. Easy place. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, just DM us on any of the platforms. I'll make sure I personally send you the link. Yeah. Now keep it Pitboard Discussions. I've been your boy Ace, the trouble man himself. Twice as nice, smooth as ice. Never had a bad day in my life. 3 back-to-back Le Mans winners, Ferrari champions. You know, it is what it is. And to my right.
Oh.
To my right.
I'm going to chop off that. That outro was too long. It's done.
I was about to press that
the red button. Don't worry. The only red, unajua pale Maranello kuna bendera zimesimamishwa pale. Catch you guys on the next one. Keep it Pitboard.
You're not giving Mushiri his outro, man.
Si alikuwa anasema the red button.
Yeah.